Hello folks, and welcome to another Richard Head Longbows video, the channel that helps you with making bows and arrows and a little bit of interesting information about archery here and there. One of the questions that we got asked was about longevity of bows. I'm making that sound as if we've only been asked it once. We get it asked quite a lot, and I see it crop up quite a lot on the interweb, on Facebook and places like that. I think particularly with the English longbow, there is some concerns about how long a bow will last.
Yes.
I think people certainly treat modern bows a little less like that, but obviously the English longbow has also been around a long time, and there are more bows from, I don't know, the Victorian era and what have you that are around, and people see them perhaps in antique shops or things like that and come across them, or maybe they've inherited one and want to know if they're still usable. We've sort of covered that before, but looking more at bows that are, say, a bow you might have had for 10 years and someone's selling it and you're thinking of buying it. People were asking, you know, do they still perform well? Do they still keep their weight and what have you? So that's what we're going to try and take a look at. Obviously, me and Richard have been doing this an awful long time. So as you've probably noticed behind us, often in our videos is a whole load of bows, which we've done other videos on. If you want to see that, I'll link to that if you want to see what all of these are. But we've, what have we hooked out to sort of show people and hopefully show the longevity of bows?
Can I finish my coffee first?
No, because we're making a video.
I sort of put my cup down and it gets freezing cold because I forget. So I've got to drink it while I can.
This is Cobbler's. He likes it freezing cold for some reason.
Yeah,
he deliberately leaves them lying around.
Oh, right.
What we got?
Right. Bows. Well, we actually belong to one of the Victorian archery societies that still exist.
He is that old, yeah.
A lot of the members bring out granny's or grandpa's bow from the attic once a year and shoot it. It still shoots, but it doesn't shoot as well as when it was new. And we've handed one of the members who've been struggling to get the distance, only shoots 60 yards, with his bow. We said, right, we'll try this one. This is a newer bow, probably lighter weight than the one he had. Tremendous difference.
Right.
It is just the bow has got tired. We've got one here. There it is. And that one was made by Muir, Edinburgh. Whether you can see that or not. He was a bowyer to the Royal Company of Archers, and he made bows way back in the 1800s. And this was given to me by a lady that had been shooting it fairly regularly in longbow tournaments. So this bow had probably been in use for 100 years. And it's probably still usable now. We're not going to risk drawing it because it's in one piece, it's a collector's item, it's a nice bow. But it probably could be used at a short draw length, it's a lady's bow, it's a £25 lady's bow.
But would there be any point in using a bow that's that old?
That old? No, because I said once they get past their useful life, they're still shootable, but they're just not sending the arrows very fast. They're just, they just don't work very well.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So it's
really
a bit like a sort of an old car that's loses
the engine's
horsepower,
still going, but
yeah.
it's just lost all its
Power.
oomph, and you've got to appreciate. If you're happy to live with that, well, fine, but don't expect top performance.
Right.
We've got some other bows here that we'll probably have a check their draw weights. This one, quite a simple bow, lemonwood belly, hickory backing, that we used for have a go at events when we used to do quite a lot and big country shows and all that sort of thing. It's marked £25 at 30 inches because we wanted people to be able to use it and not struggle and not injure themselves. Probably made this 25 years ago, something
late
like that.
Late 90s we were doing that, yeah.
And this must have shot hundreds of thousands of arrows, and we're not joking, it really must have done. It's still usable, and it's still pretty good. It was never intended to be a fast shooting bow, but it's not taken a huge set.
No, doesn't look that bad actually.
And we would still go out and use it now if we were doing have a go events, and it does the job it was intended for and still does. we might put that on the scales and see if it still weighs 25 pounds. A matter of interest.
Yeah, we'll look at what else we've got here. Then we'll go and do
Yeah.
that. So remember that one.
Another one here, which is interesting. Again, a hickory backing, lemonwood belly, and this one took a set just after we'd made it and given it to the customer. He came back in a couple of weeks and said, "Oh, this bow's taken a set." Right.
We don't respond like that to
No,
all
no,
our customers.
really. Certainly, sir.
Dreadfully sorry, sir.
Certainly, sir. What can we
Sorry.
do? What can we do about it? Well, we did do something about it. We made him another bow. So, but I've hung on to this, and this was made in, if I can read it,
Crikey.
2095.
Yeah, 95. Yeah.
Not 2095.
2000. We made this in
Made
2000.
Made this in the future.
That's how we've been doing
This
it all
is future
this time.
bows. This is with this special future wood
Yeah.
that isn't available anymore.
No.
It's made in a dish somewhere in a laboratory.
Yeah, you don't even need glue.
No.
It just grows like this.
That's it.
Pre-backed
whatever
tree
that
wood.
was.
95.
1995. Let's get it right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had it back because it got the cast slightly bent. But we use it. It has been used, and we use it in the workshop for people to draw it up, see if they're happy at drawing. It measures £50 at 29. So we use it for people to see whether they can draw that sort of draw weight. So it's still being used.
Yeah, we don't mind
It's
it
still
kicking
being
around
used.
the workshop, basically.
No,
we don't
no.
care what happens to it. It's
That's right.
But yeah.
That's one I've been using for target shooting. And this was 47 at 26. Don't break those bows. They've been here for 100 years.
I'll have to edit that bit out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a bow that I've been using for target shooting. It was £47 at 26, and it was made in 2008.
2008. Yes, not 1908. 2008.
2008. Yeah. It feels to me it's starting to get a little bit tired now. Check the draw weight. The draw weight might be the same, but it's just lost. It just, to me, it just feels it's lost a bit of its spring. It's just a bit dead. But it's still shooting, and will probably shoot for years, but slowly losing its zip.
Yeah.
There's probably some others here. That's a self-view bow, £40 at 27. That was made in, is that 94?
1990. That's 1994.
1994, not
1994.
2094.
Not, this isn't one of the
another
future
future bow.
No. This isn't.
We'll have to try that. The time machine available yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so however many years ago that is, but it's quite a few.
Answers in the comments below as to how old this
It's
is.
cold here, brains addled. Yeah, so that, interesting to see what that one's like. Again, being shot quite a lot, and we'll still shoot, hopefully.
Again, that's kept its
But-
shape.
Yeah, and each piece of wood is different. This is the problem. Some will be great, others will just go bleh, just be useless.
I
You don't know till you've
there-
made it and shoot it.
Is there a common theme between what will last and what won't last? Will a triple laminate with a Purple Heart core outlast a Osage back bow or a self-view bow?
To be honest, I don't really know. I can't.
But
Really,
even after all
each
these
piece-
years and all these
Yeah.
ones that we've made,
I know.
that's still a hard thing to say.
Yes.
Because a lot of people say, oh, well, this will outlast
Yeah.
this and that'll outlast that.
And what they mean is it's not going to break. That's the thing. You don't know. I mean, a self-view bow is perhaps more likely to break than something that's bamboo backed.
Right.
But it might not, and it might carry on shooting really well for years. You just don't know. And
No.
the hickory, we've had hickory with lifts in it and all sorts of problems. I mean, even bamboo is not immune from problems.
No.
So it's difficult to say.
And also lastability. One of the things we're sort of talking about here is cast, i.e.
Yeah.
the speed,
Yeah.
the way the arrow leaves the bow just because we're going to check these bows now and see if the weight has remained the same.
Yeah.
But unless you stuck that bow and used a chronograph, which we've got one up there hanging around somewhere, and noted that down in 1995,
Yes.
and then tested it every year to see the drop, you won't know
You're
whether
not
the
gonna
bow's
know.
necessarily, and particularly if you're continuing to
Yeah.
use the bow, you adapt with it. It's hard to tell
Yeah.
whether a bow is losing
Yeah.
power.
I mean, if anyone's done that, well, let us know.
Yeah,
'cause
well,
it
then
will
that's
be
fine.
interesting.
Yeah, particularly over the period we're talking. We're talking
Yeah.
about 30 years of a
Yeah.
bow being used, competitively. You would have to do those sorts
Yeah.
of tests to really know.
Yeah.
So yeah, have you got any?
But
got
as far
any
as
more?
far as breaking, they're not necessarily going to break, but will just start to tire. Well, there's some other bows here. That's another one that I've used. That's marked at 50 at 26. I think 50 at 26. That was made in
1994.
1994.
So another 90s one.
And that's again a hickory back on that.
Yeah.
Looks like I don't know what's in the centre. Osage. Is it
Yeah,
right?
so sage. Yeah.
Lemon wood, and then there's a little bit of yew putting to beef the handle up a little bit.
Yeah. Again, that's remained quite straight
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. So we might check the weight of some of these and see whether they've
Yeah,
They've
we'll,
changed.
we'll pop into the tillering room and put these on, and see what's happened.
Good. This is the bow that's taken a set. It's made in 1995, 27 years old, and we're going to put this on the tiller, see if the draw weight is still the same. 50 at 29 inches. Well, it was 50 at 29, it's now 49.82, so £50 still. This is the hickory back lemonwood have-a-go bow that's shot thousands of arrows, was marked 25 at 30 inches. £25.86, so still £25 after shooting thousands, tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of arrows. Right, this is a triple laminate bamboo back, purple heart core lemonwood belly, one that I've been using for target shooting. It's 47 at 26, made in 2008. I just feel it's getting a bit sluggish, but we'll see what the draw weight is. As I say, it was 47 at 26. Well, I hope I haven't overdrawn it, but that's 48. so there we are. That hasn't lost any weight either.
Well, there you go. As you can see, we tested 3 or 4 of the bows there, and even surprised us.
Yes.
They have come out almost exactly the same weight that was marked on them.
Well, two of them
two
did.
of them
One
were
was within
by
a
1
pound,
pound,
within a pound,
which is next to nothing.
I mean, it might have been that when it was made.
Yes,
but
yes, quite possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. So there you go. I think as far as answering the question, how long do bows last, I think it really depends in a sort of a Douglas Adams style on what the question really is. Do you mean, is it going to break?
Yeah.
Then there's absolutely no way of telling, other than obviously making sure the bow's been maintained and looked after and that it hasn't already got an existing cracks in
other
it.
than bows that we've made, which are the ones we've tested, have lasted 25.
Well, those are last
between
yes.
20 and 30 years,
and have been regularly used.
Yeah.
And there you go. Yeah, I mean, we aren't having bows break left, right, and centre.
No, we'd have packed it in.
We
if
wouldn't
that was
be
gonna
doing
happen,
it.
just
We
wouldn't work.
just wouldn't be doing the job. So I think really, if people are worried about is a bow lasting, then it really comes down to talking about what we were talking about earlier on, which is its performance. We've just checked and measured those bows. They are still what is written on them.
Yeah,
But what isn't written on them is what their cast is and how fast they are through a chronograph.
Yeah.
Really, that's, unless you are able to say it was this on this date, and then you buy the bow second-hand 10 years later and you've tested it and it achieves the same sort of cast, the same speed through that chronograph, you can't say that the bow is going to perform in the same way. And quite frankly, no bow is going to remain at its peak performance forever. That just isn't.
But
gonna
they'll
happen.
still be shootable. I mean,
Yeah.
the target bow that I'm using, that I just feel has got sluggish. We weighed that one exactly the same
Exactly
weight
the same
as
weight.
it was
Yeah.
made. It just feels a bit sluggish. I must make another one. Again, that's just a feeling, but it will perform well. And someone else using it might be, whoa, this is, I like this.
Yeah.
This is good. It's very individual.
Yeah. And it's across all types of materials. Anyone else, I mean, obviously everyone's entitled to their own opinion. This is only just based on our experience, our bows, what we make, obviously apart from that one sort of old Victorian bow we had. It doesn't matter what material it's made out of. A bow can last a year at peak performance, or it might last 50 years with good performance. So anyone telling you, oh, well, you want a bow made out of Osage or you want a bow made out of yew for it to last, doesn't really apply based on what we've just shown there, certainly with it keeping its weight and things like that. As far as cast and speed and performance, a yew bow generally has a better cast, certainly the beginning of its life.
Yeah.
But you may find that speed and cast is the first thing that goes with a yew bow.
Yeah.
Whereas a triple laminate bow might keep its cast better longer, but it's impossible.
knows?
It's impossible to say, really.
But as we
So
said earlier on, if anyone's done any tests
over a long
period, we'd
yeah.
be interesting to know.
Yeah, it'd be.
'Cause we haven't.
No, certainly not over wide amount of materials. The different types of constructions of English longbow, be it triple laminate, double laminate, or a self.
Yeah, we've always used materials, tried and tested
Yeah.
materials, basically.
Yeah. It's a hard one to answer. Hopefully that's cleared some of it up. I think that really the answer is just don't worry.
Don't worry.
Mainly don't worry. Buy a bow and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Buy one that suits you. Really, ultimately, it comes down to buying a bow, as we've always said in all our videos. Get measured up. Have one specifically made for you, and you are probably more likely then to succeed with that bow.
Yeah, and any decent bowyer will give you a year's guarantee anyway.
Yeah.
And if something's going to go wrong, chances are it's going to go wrong within that period.
Yeah.
If it carries on, then it's likely to go on for a long time.
Yeah. So there we are, folks. I hope that was interesting. If you did find it interesting, please do give us a thumbs up. Please comment below. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed and you've got to the end of this video and you're thinking, who are those two crazy people? I'd like to watch more of their videos. Then please do. There's probably some on the screen now and a thing for you to subscribe, which is usually covering his face.
Oh.
See you again, folks. Thanks very much for watching.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.